Hello and welcome. Today we're talking about something really powerful, a body-first approach to dealing with all that stress and anxiety we carry around. It's called somatic exercises. We're going to get into how our bodies literally hold on to tension and, more importantly, how some super simple, mindful movements can help us finally let it go. Okay, so let's just get right to the heart of it with a question. Have you ever had that feeling where logically you're over something that was upsetting, but your body just isn't? You still feel that tightness in your chest, or maybe your shoulders are just permanently glued up by your ears. Your mind is saying, hey, we're good, we've moved on. But your body, well, it clearly didn't get the memo. And this is why. You've probably heard that phrase, the body keeps the score, right? Well, this is exactly what it's talking about. A staggering 93% of our communication is nonverbal. Your nervous system doesn't really operate on thoughts or logic. It operates on pure feeling and sensation. So when you go through something stressful or anxious, your body fires up all this survival energy. And if that energy doesn't have anywhere to go, well, it gets locked away in your muscles and your nerves, keeping you stuck in a state of high. Now, this can lead to a really fascinating condition called sensory motor amnesia. The best way to think about it is like a blind spot on your internal body map. Your brain gets so used to holding a muscle tight, let's say in your shoulders, that it literally forgets the command for how to let it go. That chronic tension starts to feel completely normal, even though it's often the real root of all that nagging pain, stiffness, and even postural problem. And this is exactly why those traditional top-down approaches like talk therapy sometimes feel like they're not quite getting the job done. It's really hard to think your way out of a problem that's physically stored in your body, but somatic exercises, they're a bottom-up approach. Think of them like a hacker technique. They let you bypass the thinking brain and talk directly to your nervous system to reboot it out of that frozen, high-stress mode. So enough with the theory, let's get into the practice. I'm going to guide you through 3 really simple micro-rituals for your nervous system. Seriously, whether you're at your desk or lying on the floor, feel free to follow along with me. Let's give your body a quick little system update. First up, we have the butterfly hug. I absolutely love this one. The best way to describe it is like an emotion pacifier for your nervous system. It's so simple, but it is profoundly calming. Okay, so just cross your hands over your chest. Hook your thumbs together, kind of like you're making the body of a butterfly. Now let your fingers rest gently on your collarbones or your shoulders. Go ahead and close your eyes, and just begin to gently tap your shoulders, alternating left, then right. Kind of like the slow, steady flap of a butterfly's wings. Just find a rhythm that feels really comforting and safe. And as you're doing this, you might suddenly feel the urge to take a deep sigh or to yawn, maybe even shed a tear. If that happens, please, just let it. That is a real physical sign that your nervous system is discharging all that stored up electrical charge of stress. It's your body's beautiful, natural way of letting go of pressure. All right, let's move on to our second exercise. This one is like a reboot button for your spine and all those deep muscles in your core. It's called the arch and flatten. For this one, you'll probably want to lie down with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. As you take a breath in, gently press your tailbone towards the floor and let your lower back arch up, creating a little bit of space. Now, here comes the most important part. As you exhale, do it as slowly as you possibly can. Imagine your spine just melting back onto the floor, one single vertebra at a time. The real magic isn't in how many you do, it's in that slow, controlled, mindful release. And for our last exercise, we're going to take a little cue from the animal kingdom. Picture this, a zebra. After it's just escaped a lion, what's the first thing it does? It shakes its entire body vigorously. It's literally shaking off the trauma of the chase. And guess what? We can do that too. So whether you're sitting or standing, just start shaking your hands. And I mean really go for it. Let that vibration travel all the way up your arms, into your shoulders, and right through your torso. Just imagine you're shaking off dust or worries or all the tension from your day. Let's do it for about 20 seconds. Okay, and now stop. Just be completely still for a moment and notice. What do you feel? Can you feel that subtle little tingle or a current of energy inside your body? That feeling? That is your nervous system resetting itself. That's the release. So, you've just felt it for yourself. But why on earth do these ridiculously simple movements work so well? Let's get into the science of this release, because this to me is where it gets really, really cool. The key mechanism here is a fancy word called pendiculation. Now, this is not just stretching. Think of it more like an active conversation with your brain. It's a 3-step process. First, you consciously contract a muscle. Then you slowly and very intentionally lengthen it. And finally, you let it completely relax. That whole sequence sends this powerful blast of sensory information back to your brain, basically rebooting its control and reminding it how to let go of that chronic tightness. And I mean, the results? They really do speak for themselves. Just take a look at this chart. It's based on research into HANA somatic education. Before the sessions, you can see the average reported pain level is way up there. But then look at the bar for after the sessions. It's a massive drop. We're not talking about a small change here. This is a significant, life-changing improvement for people. So just how significant are we talking? Well, one study looking at patients with chronic pain found that after an average of just 3 of these sessions, they experienced a nearly 80% reduction in their pain levels. Let that sink in for a second. An 80% improvement. That is absolutely remarkable for an approach that doesn't involve any pills, just education. Okay, so you've learned the moves, you get the science. Now how do you actually integrate this into your life and just keep listening to what your body is trying to tell you? Here are 3 key things to remember. First, try doing these with your eyes closed. It helps you tune out the world and tune into your body's internal signals. That's called interoception. Second, live by the no pain principle. If something hurts, stop. Pain just makes your muscles tense up more, which is the exact opposite of what we want. And third, watch for those little release signals. If you start yawning, sighing, or if your stomach starts gurgling, that's amazing news. It means your rest and repair system has just come online. And it's really important to know that these exercises aren't just some new trend. They're part of a much bigger, well-established field of somatic practices. You might have heard of others, like the Feldenkrais method, which is all about learning through movement, or the Alexander technique, which focuses on our posture and habits. When you get right down to it, all of this work is about just inhabiting your own body more fully. I love this quote, "The body is the soul's home." These practices are about taking care of that home. So it doesn't become a stiff, rusty cage of tension you're just dragging around. And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Every little ache, every bit of tightness, every flutter of anxiety, it's a message. Your body is talking to you all the time. The only real question is, are you ready to listen?